What's up, Collide? Excited to be with you this morning. Last week, we talked about the importance of finding someone who's following Jesus that can help you follow Jesus. Well, today, we're talking about something else. We're talking about you. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. And I don't know if you know this, but you're being watched right now. Not like that. You're being watched because people see the way you talk, people see the way you live, and they try to match it up with the things you say you believe. And if it doesn't match up, it can be really confusing. If you say you follow Jesus, but then you're making jokes that aren't okay, it's confusing, and you set the tone for the people around you. There's a guy in the Bible named Paul, and he was a pastor and one of the very first missionaries, and he talked about the importance of helping people around us match up what we say and what we believe. There was a guy named Timothy who was a little younger than Paul. He was probably around your age, maybe a little older, and Paul saw potential in him. He saw that there's things that he could help Timothy do so that he could then follow Jesus better. And so Paul wrote a letter to him to help him follow Jesus. Let's check out what Paul says in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 6. It says, "Do not waste time arguing over godless ideas and old wives' tales. Instead, train yourself to be godly. Physical training is good, but training for godliness is much better, promising benefits in this life and the life to come. This is a trustworthy saying, and everyone should accept it. This is why we work hard and continue to struggle, for our hope is in the living God, who is the Savior of all people, and particularly for all believers." Let's pause there for a second. Paul is a godly person, and he wants Timothy to be a godly person as well. And so he's giving him advice. He's saying how important it is the way we live should match up with what we believe. Paul is trying to help Timothy follow Jesus. Let's continue reading what Paul says to Timothy. "Teach these things and insist that everyone learns them. Don't let anyone think less of you because you are young, but be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and in your purity." This is our big idea. You can be a spiritual leader for other people today. Just like Paul was for Timothy, you can help other people follow Jesus. There's a few ways we can do this. One thing is, we can be mindful of the words we use. When you talk, do you sound the way Jesus sounded? Are you using words to encourage and build other people up? In the way you act, are your actions lining up with what Jesus tells us to do in the Bible? With your thoughts, are your thoughts being pure? Are they being kind to one another? In the way you love, is there that one person at school that's just really hard to get along with? Do you love them? Are you kind to them? How about in our purity? Are you following Jesus with your purity? The things you watch, or the things you say, or the things you read. These are all really important as we want to follow Jesus. And this can seem a lot. Thinking about your thoughts, your actions, your words, your love, this can be overwhelming. And you may feel a pressure to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect, because Jesus is perfect for us. What he asks for us is to strive to be better at these things as we desire to follow Jesus. And as you're following Jesus, you can help other people follow Jesus too. So I want you to take a second right now. I want you to think of someone. It could be a younger sibling. It could be a friend that maybe is new at following Jesus. And I want you right now to decide to help them follow Jesus, just the same way that Paul helped Timothy follow Jesus. So that's your challenge today. Think of that person, and this week, find ways to help them follow Jesus as you're following Jesus.